Box Seat. I'm Adam McGrath and again joined by Ian Lenson. Ian, 8 races to take a look at. The move will rail out 12 metres and looks to be some pretty good racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Got some nice big field sizes and it gets very tricky towards the end of the day. And hopefully we can do our best to find the viewers a few winners.
Now, on last week's edition of Box Seat for Saturday, I asked you to give me a headline and you said Street Bandit to win by 5 lengths. So you weren't quite right in the margin, but you got the victory right. The People's Horse of the card, as we mentioned, the final race today, Saluted to make it 2 in a row.
Yeah, I gave you that headline basically as the most unrealistic thing that could happen. So in the end, Street Bandit won again. It's just in great form. Another fantastic victory.
PerthRacing.com.au for more of those headlines if you're wanting to take a look this week. Let's get into the conditions. We are looking at possible showers at Belmont Park on Wednesday. The movable rail is out 12 metres as I mentioned. So looking forward to the racing here. Race number 1, there are a few horses that have had some racing experience and a few that are coming in off recent trials as well.
Yeah, it's a good balance of races. A couple of form lines we need to assess, especially those coming from the Military Rock form lines, and also Peter Perfect was a great winner the other day. But a few triallers caught the eye as well, Adam.
You mentioned that Military Rock form line, so let's take a look at Dreamtime Dancer. I finished third in that race as well. There are a few other horses in this replay, but let's take a look at how it attacked the line late.
Home turn and Douches Chitsky on the outside of Rhino Buster together a length and a half behind those is Wings of Hope, who's starting to run on pretty well, and over towards the outside Military Rock is also running on. The favourites as green as grass. Military Rock had raced up and gone to the lead. Over on the inside running on is Dreamtime Dancer. Wings of Hope keeps coming as well. Wings of Hope and Military Rock together. Wings of Hope, Military Rock driving at them. Dreamtime Dancer.
Yeah, really progressive run there by Dreamtime Dancer. On debut to do that, to go down by a short neck, I thought it was a great performance. And although it has drawn wide here with the 53 kilograms, good form lines from that race as well. I think it might have the edge over a few others here.
Well, we questioned those form lines going into Saturday, didn't we? But with the win by It's Dynamite, it certainly has changed our thoughts. I think a little bit of where that race might stack up.
Yeah, because sectionally it was really quite poor on the day and it was a bunched finish, but I just think that just shows the improvement horses can take from first to second up. So that's definitely where Dreamtime Dancer sits.
Number 7, Sporting Image, it comes out of some pretty impressive form lines. It was beaten 3 lengths by Hot Goods. Obviously has to go up in the weight, carries the 58 kilos here, but drawn nicely in barrier 3.
Yeah, that first up run was very impressive. That second up run I thought was okay. Expected a little bit more from this galloper. Ultimately, if you take the time of the horse on its own, it ran almost a minute and a half, which was, a minute and half a second. I just think Sporting Image has progression, but I just expected a little bit better last start.
Well, let's take a look at selections then for the first race of the day, and I'm going to be tipping number 7, Sporting Image, from number 9, Dreamtime Dancer, number 1, Peter Perfect, and number 14, Twinkle Fire.
Yeah, just the other way around from you. I'm 9, Dreamtime Dancer, from 7, Sporting Image, number 4, Rosenberg, number 5, Sealed with a Kiss.
Race number 2 at Belmont Park. It is Perth race number 4 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1,200 metres, and I'm looking forward to the tactics in the race. Ian, we've got the obvious leader in Bashay and then a couple of swoopers as well.
Yeah, this is a great race. And although it is small, I think a lot of horses have their chance to win this. A lot with negatives and positives, and it'll be great to assess how this will be won tactically.
Bashay has been in some great recent form as she went to the front last start as per usual, was challenged and was able to hold on for second. Let's take a look at the closing stage of that race now.
She's back in the field. She's out there with Cadenza coming to the middle of the track, but Bashay and Dawn's Flyer, they're together. Bashay going better than Dawn's Flyer at the moment. Zoe Tomtea, no ticket for you. Now Queen of Choice is really getting a wriggle on with Cadenza. Miss Cyclonics coming through as well. Bashay down to the 100. Here comes Queen of Choice mowing her down. Queen of Choice storming down the outside, goes to Bashay, reaches the leader. Great win. Queen of Choice conceded.
It was a brilliant performance in the end by Bashay, given that it had been annoyed for a good part of that race on speed. To only lose by a length was a good effort, but a couple of negatives for me. Sectionally, that race didn't really rank that highly. And just a slight weight swing to Jersey. Just some minor negatives for me.
Okay, well, let's talk at some of the other runners then. And number 2, Angel Sky, the form lines are behind Properantes. Belle Levy as well. Do read very strong. Has won first up before.
Yeah, no, I think it's a very good chance. There was no blinkers in the trial. Its fresh form looks very good on paper, and I think Pike will be in the best position to capitalise here.
And what about Ruby Can Run? Obviously stepping up to the 1,200 for the first time, but hasn't really done anything wrong.
No, that's right. Look, 1,200, maybe a slight negative, but its form lines around Prophet Street and Kenosha ranked really quite high on the day's sectional time. So I think Ruby Can Run has a slight advantage here.
Let's take a look at selections then for race number 2. I'm going to be tipping at number 1, Bashay. From number 6, Ruby Can Run. Number 2, Angel Sky. And number 5, Nardini.
Yeah, I'm 2 Angel Sky on top from 6 Rubicon Run, number 5 Nardini and the 4 De Jersey.
Race number 3 at Belmont Park. It is Perth race number 6 for our Singapore viewers over the 1200 metres. And Ian, we got to see the best of Sul Hom last start, which we'd been waiting for a little while.
Yeah, look, it was a great effort in the end. Sean O'Donnell guiding that through a great passage to win that race, and it was a great run on the day in terms of sectional time. So looks like its form will hold up.
Conditions look like they've suited a little bit more as well on Wednesday at Belmont Park. So I'm looking forward to seeing if Sul Hom can back it up. Let's take a look at the last start victory.
The 350 and Hennessy Raider moved up, drew alongside of Open Era 2 lengths. This is Big and So Who's Harry, and further back Maasai Warrior with Sul Hom making up ground. This is Big out near the middle of the course, races to the lead past the 200, but So Who's Harry sticking with it, and here comes Sul Hom. He's coming quickly. So Who's Harry, Sul Hom. It's Sul Hom on the outside. So Who's Harry, they went to the line together. Sul Hom. It's Sul.
Yeah, really impressed by that by Sul Hom. Look, it has been always in about the betting. Has only picked up its second win just with that performance. So it's always been a bit of a tricky galloper to find.
Number 6, Paddy's Flatter for stand bait, drawn nicely in barrier 3. Paul Harvey to ride, just the 57.5 kilos. And I thought the run, even though beaten 3 lengths from barrier 12, was really good first up.
Look, it covered a lot of ground. Paul Harvey went early there to get that horse into the race. He had to from that position. It was a great performance in the end. Conceded went really big on the day. So I think Paddy's Flat can only take improvement from that.
Number 2, Dexterous Lad, finally got the good track that it was after. It certainly hadn't been enjoying the soft track. Emma Stent to ride, 55.5. Yeah. It was a good performance last night, only beaten 1.3 by Profit Street. And we mentioned those form lines are strong.
Yeah, absolutely. And a good sequence of form now for Dexterous Lad. So I really think that it should maintain those form lines.
Let's take a look at selections then for race number 3. I'm going to be tipping number 6, Paddy's Flat, from number 7, Sul Hom, number 3, Dexterous Lad, and number 1, High Limit.
Yeah, similar to you, I'm 6 Paddy's Flat on top, from 7 Sul Hom, number 5 Studio 54, and number 8 Steve Surprise.
Race number 4 at Belmont Park. It is Perth race number 8 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1300 metres, and this is a race that I'm really looking forward to. Halo Express returns. Big Red's back's been consistent. Capanda's been knocking on the door as well, and then Heart Show showed a fair bit last start, and Van Ripper's another horse I've got a little bit of time for.
Yeah, it's a good open race, but really, I mean, we thought this last start with Capanda, this horse is waiting for a victory at this level. It probably deserves to be on a Saturday, but just needs to get a soft kill, and hopefully this is it for punters.
Loomed up last start, as you mentioned. Looked as though it might be the winner down the straight. Couldn't quite get there. Let's take a look at that final finish now.
Sippy Sammy drops out. Paris Dream well back. Lunar Express, Ken's a star at the 300 metre mark, and Phantom Choice in front. On the outside, starting to close the margin though, is the High Road, and now down the outside, Capanda, Rattlehead with their runs from Dangerous Game. Phantom Choice, Rattlehead, Capanda have come together. Capanda, Rattlehead, Phantom Choice in a three-way tussle to the line. Phantom Choice kicking on the inside of Rattlehead. Phantom Choice
Had a great run in Transit Capanda. Ultimately was
Brilliant
one out.
final finish.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, you have to have a good final finish. It was good. 1 out, 1 back in the end. Was just beaten by Phantom Choice. Rattlehead was second in that race. It's won a Saturday since, so I think Capanda's form looks probably better than most.
What are you thinking Halo Express at first up? Jordan Turner to ride, so just the 57 kilos.
I'm not too sure what to do with this galloper. I half knocked it, then I had to eventually come around to it, but look, it loves the Belmont track and maybe dismiss its form at Ascot, and I think it's probably a lot better proposition here.
Number 3, Big Red's back, as I mentioned in the preview, has been so consistent. The 57.5, Winkers on as well.
Yeah, I think it's just more about that consistency. He has a great record at the 1300 metres, so dropping back in weight and distance, I think is a big positive for this galloper.
Let's take a look at selections then. I'm going to be tipping at number 4, Capanda, from number 8, Van Ripper, number 3, Big Red's back, and number 1, Halo Express.
Yeah, I'm 4 Capanda on top from 3 Big Reds back, number 6 Flying Force, and number 8 Van Ripper.